Manenburg Housing Contact Centre, just outside Cape Town, is a government building, which breaks the mould in terms of creating a feature of a public works office. The original location for the centre was in the heart of Manenburg, between two rival gangs. Moving it to a new, safer location has made it more accessible to its users, and by involving the local residents in the project, it's also become a beacon in the community.
When creating governmental buildings, the buildings need to become landmarks. They need to be beacons in the community. They need to reflect that community's unique identity. From the client's perspective, we can understand that security was high on the agenda. So we had to create a safe building. At the same time, we had to create an engaging building. That means the public can engage, can approach the building. So it was the two extremes that we had to factor in. We tried to do that sensitively through how we treated our wall surfaces, how we left certain elements open to the public, how we engaged with our landscaping and the building. So it was a very sensitive approach.
The design of the centre is interesting in that each side of the building has a unique look and finish. This makes it appear less imposing and more approachable, but at the same time, it retains its scale and presence.
I'm hoping that the community can view this building with interest. We tried to do change in elevations. We tried to play with sloping walls, tall vertical walls. We tried to distract the eye as much as possible so that interest is created, but that defensive barrier is not acknowledged. So we had to balance that kind of fort-like construction or design thinking with this kind of engaging envelopes. We played with shapes, we played with color, we played with materials, and we tried to distract the eye in that sense.
Although different materials and textures have been used on the different facades of the building, a large portion of the exterior is finished with raw concrete. But by treating each of the surfaces in different ways, a number of unique finishes have been created.
When you're looking at designing a governmental building, when you're looking at government in itself, it symbolizes permanency, it symbolizes strength, it symbolizes reliance. And when you start to look at those characteristics, you find a lot of similarities coming through from concrete. Concrete has an ability to be bold and beautiful, at the same time humble in its approach. It complements other materials, it blends in beautifully with the environment. It all depends on how you choose to use it. In this case, we used it as tall vertical smooth walls on our main facade. It's dominating, but yet subtle. We played with tall vertical walls around our courtyards. We played with concrete textured walls around the west facade.
In a public building, durability of materials is an important consideration. So for this project, the architects also selected a concrete finish for the interior floors, this time polished to a high shine for a contemporary look, which also unifies the space.
Materials and your choice of materials in certain spaces can have an indirect, powerful impact. So although we had two separate functions, the kind of back of house function, staffing function with the public component, the engaging component, we tried to harmonize those two through surface treatment. And the exposed concrete floors run through the public and the staff areas. They are exposed aggregates. They tend to be honest in its experience. It shows the natural ingredients behind it, and at the same time, it has beautiful thermal properties as well. It helps cool the building.
A very important part of this building project was community involvement, which was brought into as many elements of the design and construction as possible. Apart from the obvious job creation, this also means that the building fits perfectly into its environment, as it embodies the character of its people.
After all, it's a community building for the community, so the community needed to leave its mark. The community needed to engage with the building so that it could be part of them. In the physical construction of the walls, to the civil infrastructure, to the landscaping, we even looked at getting the involvement in decorating the building, and that is through the artwork. We have some of the beautiful offshore concrete playing with the artworks that were made by the community. The mosaic work behind me through local labor, and all the way through it was a matter of training, giving a new skill, and then employing them, giving them an income, and then giving them job experience.
This is a building of and for the people, designed to fit in with the landscape and show the character of the community, while at the same time providing them with a vital service.